Congressman Andy Biggs, Republican from Arizona. He's also a member of the House Judiciary Committee, House Republican Israel Caucus. I mean, wow, when you just watch that and you see sort of Donald Trump's ability, to reach across the aisle, Jordan does get a lot of aid. It looks like, these diplomatic discussions are one that actually are moving towards something, unlike what Donald Trump just said, under the last administration, we're stalled. How many times did Blinken go over there, Congressman Biggs? I mean, what we're looking at certainly is historic and certainly is a ways away. But your reaction just to sort of how King Abdullah reacted to Donald Trump and this vision for Gaza that some really thought was quite out there and may not be as out there as they thought.
Well, Bianca, I think President Trump really bends the political light toward him, and we see that even in the Mideast. So I think King Abdullah, President Trump's using his personal relationship with King Abdullah. Then he's bringing in Egypt, and he's talking to Saudi Arabia. So President Trump has the ability to reach into multiple nations, multiple national leaders, and bring him off the international stage and kind of wrap his arms around him and basically persuade them to do what really is, heretofore unthinkable. So this idea of rehabilitating Gaza has been just, nobody thought that was possible, but now it seems to be in the realm of possibility. It's astounding, actually.
And just to hear him push back and say all bets are off Iran, calling Hamas bullies and saying that's all they are, and really highlighting the hostages, which I think for so many, days, weeks, months, 491 days, there was sort of crickets in this administration saying, shouldn't there be more of an outcry? There were women, children, and babies. Your thought, too, of where this goes. Saturday, now there is a hard deadline that Iran is facing.
Well, if they don't turn over the hostages, there will be, as former President Bush called it, shock and awe. I really believe that. And Hamas is not really in a position to accept that. I'm hoping that they will come to reason and turn over these hostages. But I think that President Trump was onto something there where he said they know that they have maltreated these people so badly that there will be international condemnation against them. So that's why I think they're fighting back. But I really believe, Bianca, that we're going to see something pretty dramatic if they don't turn over these hostages.
Yeah, and I guess, too, we'll await that meeting in Riyadh, and MBS, I guess, is going to be hosting it with Egypt and Jordan and the U.S. as well. So critical days ahead, obviously, for the ceasefire, the hostages, and potentially some reshaping there. Domestically, there's a lot going on when it comes to reshaping what's happening in Washington. It's not business as usual. The Democrats know it. They hate it. You're sort of on the front there talking about some of the things you'd like to see reformed. One of them is a bill seeking to just scrap OSHA. You're also talking about another legislation called the Midnight Rules Relief. Tell us what that is, Congressman Biggs, and how it will help Americans out there every day who are, I guess, burdened with all this regulation.
Right. So in just the last 4 months of his administration, the Biden administration passed 1,400 rules that impact every aspect of American life. And the impact, the total cost impact is about $1.34 trillion. And so what my bill does is it allows us to aggregate some of those rules and more quickly evaluate them as members of Congress. And we can keep, if they're justified, eliminate them if they're not. That's what it's all about.
And OSHA, not a lot of good headlines there. Apparently, just like FEMA, they want everything just status quo there, Congressman.
That's right. And Bianca, let me tell you, they do everything from how hot you can't work over 80 degrees, and in a place like Phoenix, that doesn't work real well. Then OSHA actually sets all kinds of standards. 22 states already have standards that exceed the federal standards, but still somehow we have to get approval from OSHA. I'm telling you, the states are better prepared. They know what to do. All of them have safety standards. They all want to protect their workers and make sure everyone's safe, but they have unique conditions. We're not the same as Wisconsin and Arizona.
Information, truth, is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.